Hello, good people. Another episode of welcome to my weekly Wednesday live Q&A. I am Juha Ruokangas, your humble servant, on a mission from the gods of fretted instruments, whoever those mythical creatures may be. So we continue today with my series of interviews titled Factory versus Luthier, What's the Real Difference? And, whatever the difference may be, do they matter from the perspective of the guitar player? And after the two previous episodes talking to legendary gods of fretted instruments from North America, it's time to bring in yet another godly maker, but this time from Europe. So, so you wouldn't make the faulty assumption that great guitars only come from America. No, people, that is not the case. But before I bring in today's guest, a little something else to calibrate our brain a little. Yesterday, I read a news article from New York Times. Let me bring you the picture. There you are. So, New York Times article titled "Guitars Are Back, Baby." Now, I mentioned here for the record that we're making this live stream in September 2020. 6 months into the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. It's obvious to us living in this time and age, but for those watching this recording like 100 years from now, or I hope sooner, it might not be so clear. So if you don't know what COVID-19 was, Google it or whatever you do in the future times. Search from your chip implanted in your brain or something. So, what is the title "Guitars Are Back, Baby" article has to do with COVID-19? Well, according to the New York Times and the author of the article, Alex Williams, it appears people are turning to the guitar, both acoustic and electric alike, as some sort of a quarantine companion and a psychological salve. And this has spurred such a surge in sales that even the longest standing veterans of the Big Four, Fender, Gibson, Martin, Taylor, have never seen anything quite like it. Well, I think that's quite interesting, isn't it? Because just a few years ago, the predictions didn't look so good when the Washington Post announced the slow death of electric guitar. They were predicting that guitar, as we have known it, has come to its end as the symbol of this youthful freedom and rebellion it has represented the past 70 odd years, whatever. So, you tell me, are we looking at just the passing hype that rose hand in hand with the pandemic statistics and will eventually disappear with the pandemic too? Well, time will tell, or maybe my guest of honor, the master guitar maker from Rodgau, Germany, can tell us later today. So welcome, Nik Huber. Hey, Nik, you're on. You're not on, you're frozen. Why is Nik frozen? Reconnecting.
Sure.
Are you back? Now you're back.
I'm here. I just saw that our connection kind of broke down. Are we?
It's okay.
Do you hear me
We're
now?
good. You're on. For a moment, you were there looking very serious and very frozen. But now you're alive again.
Right.
So not only the guitar is not dead, but Nik Huber is not dead either. Nik Huber is alive and well. Praise the Lord.
I'm here. Glad to be here.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good, and I kind of think the same way, and very appreciate the last month. Not since necessarily COVID, but that I felt that the guitar seems to be back. It has never gone away with us, but
yeah, same as us.
We had a lot of work to do, so
yeah,
that feeds us.
Yeah, great. So before we go into the day's topic, factory versus luthier-built guitars, and maybe Nik and I, as we're almost qualified fortune tellers, we try to look into our crystal ball and predict the future of guitar business. But Nick, you founded your company around the same time as I did mine, somewhere in the mid 90s, isn't this right?
That is right.
Yeah, so tell me, what made you do it? What were you thinking? What on earth were you thinking?
I was in a cabinet apprenticeship because I was on my way to become an architect. Looking back on that, that was a stupid idea. But I was in this apprenticeship, and at that time, I really wanted to become a rock star, a musician, a professional. And also looking back, it's good that I didn't. But I went to a guitar making course, a guitar building course in Formentera Island in Spain. And I made my first guitar there. And when it was in Spain, it was sunny, it was close to the ocean. It was just such a great experience that I decided, or I felt that this is it. This is what I must try.
Yeah.
And since that guitar building course, I started just to tear apart every guitar I had. My father actually made me guitars as a teenager because he thought the guitars which he could buy for 600 marks back then were not good enough. So he already did it on the hobby side.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I really touched it was just so fulfilling. It was just 3 weeks, the course, that I just wanted to keep on doing this.
Yeah. So, and this was, maybe you mentioned the year. The course happened in
1993.
1993. Okay, so this was exactly the same year when I boarded the guitar making school in Finland. That's interesting. So, but okay, so then we jump on a little bit. You've had also a rare opportunity to have, I think it's fair to say, one of the superstars among guitar makers as your mentor back in the early days. You know, so tell us a bit about how your paths crossed with Paul Reed Smith, and how did you become his favorite student, or I don't know, like a apprentice, or how would you call it?
He never told me that I was his favorite one. I don't
but
know how
you
many.
were, Nick, you were a little bit.
Maybe I would appreciate that. But anyways, when I made my first guitar, the following year, Musikmesse happened, and I always went to the Musikmesse in Frankfurt when it was still very big and even bigger than NEM. I went there, and usually with my father, just to check out, and it was very interesting. I had a grunge band back in the days, and the Sound of House guy we had was mixing a concert at night during Musikmesse where Paul Reed Smith played with his band, and Simon Phillips and some others. And I thought, well, good opportunity maybe to bring a guitar and get a comment and show off how great that guitar was. And so I went there. The thing was sold out. I couldn't come in, and I sneaked in backstage by telling a story with tapes in my hand that I have to deliver a demo tape of Paul Reed Smith. They had to let me in. I had a guitar on my shoulder, so kind of stole myself in. And a friend of mine was already there, actually talking to Paul. And then I went there and asked him, excuse me, can you maybe give me 10 minutes of your time to look at my guitar? And I know that Paul likes this. And we all like this. If people approach me, hey, can you look at my guitar? I like this too. Yeah. So he took more than 10 minutes, looked at the guitar, and probably most of you all know Paul Reed Smith and how he can look, very critical. So, and then he asked me, what do you want? Do you want an honest opinion? Or what do you want? I said, well, the most honest opinion possible. And then he asked, what do you want to do with it? And I said, of course, I want to make a living. I want to be a guitar maker. And he said, well, then it's not good enough. Which was great. Which was really great. And we're talking about 1994. early 1994. So there was no email.
Yeah.
At least I didn't have it. And I asked him, so who could give me advice? Who could help me to improve? And yes, he said I could.
Mm-hmm.
And well, this famous guy talking to this unfamous guy, I doubted that it could happen. So he handed me his card and he said, send me a fax with questions.
Okay.
Fax. So
yeah, I remember that.
I did. I went home and had questions. And guess what? A day later, I got a fax. I got the fax back.
Wow.
With very short answers, pointing me in direction to guide me in a way. But I think he had a lot of time seeing me working myself into it was not the recipe. It wasn't doing A, B, C, D. It was like, think about this, go this direction, try this. And so I did. And it turned out that from then on, I met him at Musikmesse once a year and always brought a new guitar. So, and the comment was better, but.
Yeah.
And he would send me, and then we came to the point, then finishing was an issue. Man, how to finish a guitar, how to make it. He always told me, make it like, it should look like dipped in glass. So you didn't buff right. You didn't sand right. So, and so why didn't you buff here? I said,
difficult.
Well,
Too difficult.
It was honest. It was kicking my ass big time, but it was extremely valuable to me.
Yeah,
and I think it took me till somewhere 97, late 97, when he said, so I5, now it's a professional guitar.
Okay. Yeah.
And from that on, I still brought guitars. And then there was this thing in the guitar magazine in Germany where readers could ask Paul questions. And then all of a sudden, he guided me those people who needed some work on their guitars, no matter if they had damage or whatever. Then he started guiding these people to me. So that I got such a big amount of trust. I thought I wasn't ready at all. And I was shocked, scared, surprised when a package showed up with, you remember when the first Santana came out? The first Santana, the yellow one, first run of Santanas, 1,000 marks back then. And so it had a letter like we spoke with Paul, just fix the clear codes. And then I called Paul, are you fucking out of your mind?
Yeah.
So it's an expensive guitar. Well, he said, well, you don't better screw it up. So sweating doing this job, sweating.
Yeah.
But so I really appreciate the trust he put in me.
Yeah. So this was really a school for you. Well, I think this connection is interesting also from the point of our topic, the factory versus luthier, because well, we know a lot of us, most of us guitar enthusiasts, nerds, at least from our generation, know the story. Paul Ray Smith, started making guitars in his garage, and from rags to riches type of thing, and becoming from a one-man shop, from one-man luthier, really a major player in the business, and we might go into that a little bit later. All these years you've been making guitars now, so it's about 25 years, a quarter of a century. Yeah, so, I've been making guitars too, as you know, and now we both know that guitar making is all about competing with your peers about whose guitars is the best. No, folks, that was a joke. There's no need to compare, but for the sake of today's topic, let's step into a little bit deeper waters here. So, Nik, you and I, we've taken somewhere on our individual paths a little bit different turns. And your company has grown more than my company has grown during the past years. How much guitars do you guys make these days?
I think we'll end up this year approximately 300.
300 guitars.
Three.
And you are a team of how many people?
10.
10 people, yeah.
Plus mini jobs. Two mini jobs. My oldest son just joined the team full time. A new challenge.
Okay.
But I love it.
Well, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations. That's cool.
Yeah. He wants to study music. He's a very, very, very talented musician. But right now he's at least for a year with us, and then we will see where his path goes. I'm supporting whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, a week ago, John Page and I discussed about CNC, coming to the conclusion that these modern tools, they are, well, exactly that. They're tools, just as any other tool. And in our modern time, the tables have turned really completely. Like CNC machines have become more affordable, so much so that a lot of the one-man shops even have them. And even if I have gotten stuck into the past, shaping our necks with a knife in candlelight, you have you have forged ahead, towards the beautiful modern future, modern technology, and to craft these beautiful pieces. I have your guitar here.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar.
I could actually up and grab one of yours
if you want, but I think I saw it on the back.
Sure.
Well, if you, so not for the sake of it, so that people just understand that actually Nik didn't it wasn't quite like so that Nik made me a guitar. We made guitars for each other, so it was fair and square that way, I think. Which was very cool. And this was at the time of your 20th anniversary, when you also made guitars for Uli Teufel, for Jens Ritter. Jens Ritter, yes. Yeah. And so I'm a wonderful company there with these three fine luthiers. So, in anyways, back to the topic. Tell me the size of your shop, the concept, how you work, the team with the size and everything. Would you define your company as a little factory, or a big luthier workshop, or what? Or are such divisions even relevant? Does it matter? What will you make of that? Where do you want to be?
Honestly, I never thought about a description.
Yeah.
I started to put my hands on CNC, which probably for many people is one component to be in a production, if you can say that, rather than shape necks and candlelight in front of snowy windows.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I know, and I completely appreciate that, and I completely understand if somebody says, you know what, I want a completely handmade guitar, whatever that means, or I want a CNC free guitar, and I get it, and I'm more than happy to guide these inquiries if I get them towards you, towards Jörg Tandler, towards whoever states I'm not using CNC, and that's fine. That's completely fine. For me was this. Well, we kind of constantly grew slowly but constantly, and it was also something which I always really liked, like next steps to grow, not necessarily numbers or square meters, but to grow and to expand in your knowledge, in giving more value, in becoming also a better company leader, to become a better husband, to not be burned out completely because I'm working 17 hours a day and always say, honey, we don't have money for vacation. That was nothing I wanted to really experience on the long term.
Yeah.
So, and when the topic CNC came on our table, my father was so pushing me because he was also by the technology. My father was a cabinet maker. My grandpa was a cabinet maker, and my grandfather's father was a cabinet maker. My father became a pilot during military, whatever, but he stayed in his genes a woodworker.
Yeah.
And he was also so fascinating. He said, we should get the CNC, you should do that. I said, that is really expensive.
Yeah.
Really. Well, I help you finance it. We find a way.
Yeah.
So, and beside that, a CNC could really deliver value to your guitar making. It's also, for me, it was extremely fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you still see me sometimes in front of this door, plexiglass door, and I'm looking inside and I said, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
What's happening. So I like that. I like these technologies. I experimented with UV, went away from it again. I know that many guitar makers make a great product with UV drying. There are new technologies coming up. There's a black machine on the market which I don't have. It's all. I think that's very impressive what is possible.
Yeah.
And maybe I completely understand if somebody says, I want to keep away from it. I want to do it the old way. Great. If that's you, great. Just do it and be happy. It just wasn't me necessarily. And I never thought about, will I become now a factory or a small production or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I didn't care so much.
Yeah, I mean, knowing you. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, but
yeah. Knowing you and from our talks over the years, I mean, I more or less knew the answer, and that's why I wanted to ask it so people can hear it, because this is the thing. I mean, this is one of the very key elements of our topic when we are discussing about the factory versus luthier. There isn't really the versus there. There's just different ways to look at it. And like Nik is telling, you know, who I like, for me, who I am, the way I want to express, you know, our craft and the direction I want to take my company into is not necessarily what works for somebody else. And it doesn't mean that this way is better than that way. It is better for someone. It is better for that player or guitar enthusiast to whom my approach speaks to and makes that person's heart beat a bit faster. And in the same way, you know, there's endless ways of looking at this. I know that that there are so fantastic. I mean, Nik's operation, your operation is like it's still. Let's say that you're still making guitars in the types of guitars you're making is sort of traditional type guitars. They look like traditional guitars, but when we look at something like really out of this world design pieces like Uli Teufel's Birdfish, for example, I think there's a great example also when arguing about this endless nonsense about CNC or no CNC. It's idiotic in a way, but thinking of what Uli does with his 5-axis CNC machine, he uses that machine to his art. And when talking to Uli about over the years about the reasons why he's doing it that way is the same. He says it's so fascinating. It's like his pet thing. And he's laughing about it, that it kind of doesn't make any sense even in some ways. But for him, it's so enjoyable. And because he does it. So.
Get it? Yeah. That's Uli, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think at the very end, I decided to, there was times where I was really digging the internet for pictures and what is everybody else doing. And I was, all of a sudden, I became aware of Jim Olsen, who makes great acoustic guitars, a lot of CNC involved. Then I went during the NAMM show to Kevin Ryan, again, an acoustic guitar company with laser, with CNC, like really on a top-notch level in precision. I'm not that much digging in internet anymore, which I did. I kind of decided I do my thing, I do myself, and let everybody else do their thing. And honestly, at the very end, it boils down: do you like the guitar or not? Does it speak to you? Does it play right?
Yeah.
Get it. It doesn't. If it doesn't serve you, no matter if it's cosmetics or playability or sound, the magic is we all use similar woods and all the guitars sound different. Yeah. Great. How good is that? And so it's fine if you like Juha's guitars better. And I know that Juha Ruokangas sold a guitar. That's a happy day for me.
Yeah, well, likewise, of course. And well, this brings me to you actually already kind of answered to it, but what is it to you that defines a good guitar? You kind of answered to it, but is there something you want to add to that? You talked about playability, what kind of speaks to you, but what to you defines a good guitar? What is a good guitar?
I mean, are we talking to guitar makers or guitar players?
Guitar players.
So
yeah.
The guitar makers look at different.
Yeah, but that is often, that's also something that I think what you said a moment ago, whatever kind of whatever makes it to you, whatever you like, whatever gives you that feeling, the playability, the sound, whatever. So there we come to and it's a good question when you said, is this question for guitar makers or guitar players? Because often when we are asking this from guitar makers, we run into this kind of guitar snobbery that is, to me, it's very uncool, because it's something that we delve into that cork sniffing stuff.
Yeah.
Where actually I think John Page put it so well a week ago in the stream when he said that, hey, let's not fool ourselves. 99% of all the classic, all the legendary rock music ever written, ever recorded, was done with Fenders, with Gibsons, with Martins, with so, and
guitars.
Yeah, and so in that way, what we are doing, it plays a different kind of role. It plays a niche role, not diminishing what it is, but I think still like the snobbery about that our guitars are so fine that I don't quite fit into the same table with someone who, you know what I mean. And of course, I mean, this comes also, I would point this also out to you players, because sometimes I don't go too much to these guitar forums anymore, because it's quite intense sometimes on those forums. But often enough, I stumble upon on the same kind of snobbery there, regardless whether it's about handmade guitars or whether it's about a certain name brand, like only a certain brand is good enough. Only a Gibson is good enough, or only, guys, come on, drop the guitar snobbery. It's not cool. So there's for everyone. Guitar is good when it's inspiring to play, when you can make music with it, when it inspires you to kind of, it's a communication for you, for your emotions, for your, to enrich in your life and have fun. So it's kind of like that. So anyways, let's hop back to that New York Times article we started with. Let me put first the link. And at this point, I will also mention to Nik, because Nik can't probably see the chat, that we have here people saying hi. You remember very well Mibu, right?
Say that again.
Mibu. Do you remember Mibu?
No.
Okay, you would recognize his face when you saw it, from Romania.
Well, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, Mibu is saying hi to you.
Hi, Mibu. I need to see the face, and I will definitely jump back on YouTube where I can see the chat.
Yeah.
And I will sign in into YouTube to finally have my own account.
Okay, do it. And also Kingsley Durant is saying hello to both of us
Hello,
in the
hello.
chat. No
Thanks for
questions
joining.
so far. So put those questions to the chat if you have anything to ask from Nik. Now is the unique time for you to ask questions from Nik. I will be here, the assistant boy, forwarding the questions to Nik. So anyways, back to the New York Times article. Thank you, Junnu, for the tip, tipping me this article. It's a very well written article. So I've put it now to the chat, the link. So after this stream, go have a look. So Nik, tell me this sudden shockwave in the popularity of guitars that the New York Times talks about. Is it something that you feel that will it fade out quick, or is it a prelude for the next golden age of guitar-driven rock music era or something like that?
I wish it would. I wish I could state it would. I cannot. I don't know. And I felt it also in a positive way that we, when COVID came up, everybody was, even me, sitting down with my team. Okay, people, there might be something coming, which I have no idea what we are going to do. I don't know if orders will drop, if people need to back out from orders because, well, I can speak for Germany. Many people were on part-time now. I don't know the exact term. So they can go on 60% wages or even less. All the musicians, like really playing musicians or PA systems guys, no work. So it kind of sounded very scary.
Yeah.
And I said that might, should, and will affect us too. And it did not at all. I can speak now for our company, for my teams. We could make guitars constantly. Nobody got sick. We have a new building since 3 years. We could spread out as much as we needed to prevent as good as we can that we A, follow the rules, and B, make everybody as comfortable as we could. Yeah. So we just kept on making cars. And like on the Easter, I remember also like the Easter weekend, I was the whole weekend here because my wife had something to do with her parents. And so I was here the whole Easter weekend, cleaning up, working, and then I walked home, dead streets. And I kind of enjoyed the slowed down situation. Yeah. Yes, I missed going out for dinner, but this is a luxury problem. Yeah. So that's nothing. I'm not a professional musician. I have still hobby bands. I can very well live without playing for a year. That's fine. Yeah. So I can only I have a lot of gratitude to the position I am in. We have orders. We have orders we can lose half of our orders and we're still fine. Yeah. At least for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months, depending on the model. So there's a lot of gratitude in me. Yeah. Thank you that I can survive this so well now.
Yeah. It's great. I'm bringing in a comment from Kingsley Durant. Kingsley says, quotes his friend Steve Kimmock. He mentions Steve Kimmock, who can outplay pretty much any of us. Steve says, a guitar is only as good as the time you put into it. I think that's a very well put line as well. Thank you, Kingsley. I think, having read the New York Times article from the perspective of our stream topic, the factory versus luthier, bringing up the fact that, the New York Times article mentions that there are, in fact, there's a huge amount of youngsters, both girls and boys, picking up the guitar now. And, there's with a lot of time in their hands because they can't go do this and do that. And when you kind of sink yourself into social media, at some point you paralyze yourself with it and you need something real to do. And people have actually kind of gone back to the real need of something that gives them joy for real. And so there's not only girls and boys are picking up the guitar, starting to learn the guitar. There's a whole world of super talented young guitarists scattered around online, like we know, on YouTube, on Instagram. There's so much people, so much young players getting noticed on these different platforms, media channels. And now, keeping this in mind, this younger generation of players might also have a completely different idea and priorities regarding what is it that makes a great guitar for them. For you people, if there's those young people there watching this video, you know, the younger generation watching these videos may also have a totally different idea on the factory versus luthier discussion. But it's something that we're not going to answer with Nik. We can't answer this question now. As you can see, Nik and I, we're both old, weary men, you know, and and I'd like to get answer to this question from you guys. Remember, only if you're representing the younger generation, say under 40s or so. So old farts like myself, don't bother. But you know, this is, I think, an interesting aspect to it, because whereas I'm seeing we have a good number of younger generation players coming to, you know, order a guitar from us. They would be typically serious players or studying music or studying guitar and stuff like that, and getting maybe, you know, their first, maybe their second, maybe their third serious guitar. And, you know, so I have some kind of a feel, but still I feel that I'm kind of out of touch with that generation, because this generation doesn't typically, when we go to our guitar shows, there are enough statistics to show that you know, people that tend to go to guitar shows are mostly middle-aged and up. And so how is it for you another phenomenon that the New York Times article mentioned, the female guitarists, that, and also the same thing that Fender did a research about. The Fender CEO Andy Mooney talked about it in some video, I think a year ago or 2 years ago at NAMM, where he was explaining how Fender's new study at the time showed that 50% of their new guitar buyers would be women. But for me, I have to say that as much as I would like to see this phenomenon, I like to see this happen also on the kind of luthier-built, the small builder, the kind of in the work we do, but currently I can't say that I see it. I am looking at our statistics and our, you know, with you know, who is following us on Facebook, who is going to our website, and it's a little bit depressing that it's 99 or something % men. And what would you say to this? Do you have any, like...
I thought about this because I don't hear that the first time, and we actually had on also in Berlin we had this topic on the table, right?
Yeah.
Female guitar and the new possibility. What I would like to see from that Fender research thing is, can we have more data? Are we Fender owns several brands, and Fender does many price ranges, and they do a lot of acoustics in every price range from several different brand names. And I pretty much assume that the biggest percentage of a female player probably grabs the acoustic guitar, which is great. Maybe they switch on an electric at some point. Maybe they just stay acoustic guitar players. Which is still fine. I see also the metrics nowadays. You can take a look at your insights from your social media platforms, and I see the age range where I think we have a lot of percentage, way more than I have on between 28 and 35. probably say. So not necessarily the as old as I or you are. I am or you. and and yes, we only have 4% female followers, subscribers, whatever the best term is, to our Instagram. So yeah, I would like to see more women playing our guitars. And but on the Fender thing, I would like to hear how many electrics have you sold, in which price range, from which brand name.
Yeah, yeah. This is
And then we would have a completely different talk, in my point of view.
yeah. And also, of course, again, this is like when I'm asking these questions, and I'm I'm asking these questions from virtually sitting next to me there. It would make much more sense to ask these questions from those younger women who play guitar, I think, than us, old chaps here discussing about stuff that we know very little about. So again, I would like you guys, this is some homework for you to do, to comment below. And if you have younger generation women or boys, men alike, but especially women, if you have friends who play guitar, share this video to them and ask them these questions. And what kind of things in guitars matter to them, because I would really love to get that dialogue going more somewhere on some forum, because I have really trouble grasping the topic, because it's how and where. Because okay, if these younger generation players, the female players, don't come to the guitar show, they don't follow so much our videos or things, that and so what way could the dialogue happen in a natural way? That would be very interesting to me. So I'm urging you watchers, start spreading the word to all these, because I know that judging from Instagram, there are also so much young women, absolutely talented shredders out there, shredders with electric guitar, which is another it's a phenomenon on its own, and very interesting to me. But again, I'm completely out of touch with that audience, with that part of players, and so that's interesting. And yeah, I'm bringing in another comment. Wait a second, there was something good here. Okay, this is fun. Kai Randall says, "Hi Juha and Nik, just traveled back in time from 2065 with good news. Huber and Ruokangas guitar saved rock and roll. Yes! Thank you, Kai Randall. Also, Nik made it as a rock star with best album of 2025. Keep rocking, guys." So there's, we have a time traveler here. That's fun. Great news from the future. Can you say that again?
I think he mixed me up with my son, because he's doing records and writing songs. I would need to go back on that.
Yeah. By the way, Nico is doing fantastic job with this band. I've been looking at some of the videos and some stuff there, and so congratulations. You have a very talented son.
Therefore, we'll proudly forward that.
Yeah. Tell Nico my best regards. Wait a minute. What else? What else comes here? Okay. Another comment from Poo Ninja. Life keeps speeding up to keep pace with computers, but humans need to slow down and experience the music actively and not just as background sound. Yeah, this is something that in some ways the world has been kind of, geared towards that way, that everything is just noise. But I agree, there is something tangibly, uniquely wonderful in the experience of listening to music and doing nothing else. or playing music and doing nothing else at the same time. So it is a meditational, wonderful human experience.
That is probably hopefully the reason, because we've seen younger people now grabbing the guitar more than before, and hopefully this is caused by music. And if somebody is fan of Ed Sheeran or Billie Eilish or some more younger artists who are very known, could you go back on your thought on which guitar makes them valuable for them? I think they don't care so much about the fanciest wood, or is it a Brazilian rosewood, which is upcharged a lot? They just grab the guitar.
Yeah.
And they have a certain budget, and meanwhile you can get for not a lot of money a very, very decent guitar.
Yeah.
Which is great for people who start.
It is really wonderful. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. That's right. And let me bring Marko Korhonen from Finland says, just follow the Lick War, L-I-C-K War, Lick War at Instagram. How many highly talented young players there are. It's unbelievable. Okay, I will follow that hashtag. I will do that. Okay, and then there's another one by Poo Ninja. Let's bring it in. Girls start playing because of the love of music. Most guys start playing to attract girls and then fall in love with the music. Well, maybe, but hey, Poo Ninja, you're assuming. Maybe you're that guy. Not everybody is the same guy.
You know what? I stated that also once, that when I was a young kid, when I asked my boys when they were in school, how many friends of you have a guitar or play guitar or go to lessons? And my younger boy Pete said, nobody in the class.
Yeah.
So, well, that's sad.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, probably in my time, you could maybe attract a young girl with playing guitar on stage. Yeah. I think nowadays, maybe not so much anymore.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
And I think it's not necessarily the most valuable reason to start playing guitar. But if that's a side benefit, I have no complaints about.
Yes, right. So, so we are getting also some tips of names of young players. I won't bring more comments now because we are running out of time. So it's time to wrap up this. And okay, one more comment. Antti is saying, is it okay to watch your stream while noodling on a guitar at the same time?
Very much. When I was still practicing, I would practice scales while watching TV because it was so damn boring.
Yeah, I did the same. I've done a lot of that same. Yeah. But Nick, I have to say that we had there was a very long period when I didn't have a band. Then for some years we had a band, like a cover rock, blues rock band where my wife Emma was singing and my brother was playing bass and so on. And that became a bit complicated. We couldn't arrange all the 5 people to the same address at the same time to practice like ever. So it's just like never. But now we have a trio where I'm playing. I'm back to, maybe I'm becoming a senile, really, nostalgic old things, because now we've had for a year, we've had a trio with a friend of, bass player friend of mine from the teenage years. We have another drummer from the trio we had back then, like more than 30 years ago. So we are a cover band playing Black Sabbath, old Black Sabbath covers from Ozzy Osbourne era. So that's what we're doing for our meditational COVID-19 pandemic music. Black Sabbath from the 70s.
Very cool.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see. That was very unnecessary to tell about my band, but why not? Music is great. So I think in any form, it's something, you know, it keeps us from doing all the bad stuff. So playing guitar and making music, it's great in every form. So we're gonna wrap up. People keep playing and enjoying your guitar, regardless whether it's built in a factory or by a luthier, please. So, and Nick, please tell my best regards to Ingrid, your winning team. Well, Ingrid is one of your winning team too. So, you know, virtual hugs to everyone.
Yeah, I will do so. Same to Emma and Elias and your older son.
Yeah.
And I miss meeting all you guys at trade shows. I hope we can experience this. So no NAMM, the first time since I'm at NAMM since 2002, constantly, even summer NAMMs and even other trips. We did Montreal, we did Hillsburg, we did so many shows. That is really what I miss that. I miss really the hangout.
Yeah. Let me show people one picture from us from a show. I forgot to show this earlier. This is Nick and me a few kilograms ago. No, not really. Many years ago, but we look pretty much the same. A little bit more gray maybe, but So yeah, we've seen a lot of shows together, and well, you've gone to a lot of more shows than I've gone, and the recent years I've gone to the NAMM every second year, and I skipped the last one, 2020, and I was supposed to go to 2021, but now I'm skipping again. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But hey, of course we will see again sometime, somewhere. Our paths will cross, and yeah.
Till then, I will hug your guitar.
Yeah, likewise. So yeah. So hey, bye, Nick, and all the best for your team and everyone. Keep making those wonderful guitars. Yeah.
You too.
Ciao.
And what did we all say? Be my favorite competitor.
Favorite competitor. That's the one. It's written to the back of the guitar. Hey, there it is.
And you know what? One of my best friends as well. How good is that?
Yeah, exactly. So likewise.
Keep on doing the videos. I look forward for the next one.
Yep. Next one will be something secret. I can't tell more about it yet. So you have to watch it next week.
All right, I will.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Ciao.
Bye, Juha.
Bye. Very cool. My brother in arms. Yeah, like Nick wrote to the guitar he made. My favorite competitor. I think we versus luthier guitars. Okay, guys, who else do we have left to interview? There would be so many, I have to say, so many, too many. But next week, in the 4th episode of this megalomaniac series of Factory vs. Luthier, I'll be talking to... No, I can't tell you that. But I can show you a picture. Wait. It's a secret. There you go. You can recognize one of the guys. And the other one, you might not. I won't tell you who this next interviewee is, but I can give you 3 tips. Okay? I can give you 3 tips. Here we go. Tip number 1. The first boutique guitar I ever held in my hands must have been in 1981. Not 1981. I was a little boy then. 1989 or 1990. I think 1989 was made by this guy. 2, he's one of the true pioneers among who, you know, what was later to become known as boutique guitar makers. one of the true pioneers with so significant role to play that I don't have words to describe it. And the third tip for you guys, this is something I'm a bit envious about, and this is maybe that will give him away. This luthier has made a guitar, amongst many others, to the one and only Nigel Tufnell of Spinal Tap. So there you go. Now you can start Googling it like crazy. Who is that guy? Who is that builder? But I think a better way to find out is to watch the next episode. The episode number 4 out of series of 7. The Factory vs. Luthier. What's the real difference? Weekly Wednesday live. So there we go. Now, please share on your own social media channels, like, dislike, leave your comments below. Share the video to others, other guitar nerds, guitar enthusiasts, and if you'd like to be notified of our videos in the future, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it, so you'll be notified of the videos. Okay. Thank you for all of you who were watching. Good following. Enjoyed the interview with Nik, and that's it. Take care. Look after your loved ones. That's the priority. Look after your loved ones. Peace, love, and good music. Until next week. Ciao.